Hey guys, Jack here. I wanted to talk about something for a while now. Many of you, and if you don't know who these people are, shame on you. I'm a fan of the Kratts brothers, Chris and Martin. They've been around for a while, ever since I was a little kid. And so I want to talk about their action-adventure show, Wild Kratts. But wait, I hear you possibly typing in the comments. What about Zaboomafoo, or if some of you kids know their earlier works, Kratts Creatures? Well, I wasn't really born, so I really didn't grow up with Kratts Creatures. And Zaboomafoo, I feel I need to rewatch So, both of those are, Zaboomafoo's going to take a little while to get out there, and I still need to think about Kratts Creatures. But don't worry, I plan on at least getting to Zaboomafoo sometime in the future. So, first I'd like to talk about how the show usually works. First, we're going with a live action segment from Chris and Martin, usually introducing the topic of the animal and today's theme. Usually, I've seen a pattern. It focuses on a group of creatures, a certain aspects of creatures, or a singular creature. Sometimes the environment. Then, usually they look at a creature's special ability and ask if they could do the same things they do. Then they say, what if? Then a glowing circle of light would appear below them, transporting them into their animated forms. Then, after the animated models, after this, we go into the animated episodes. Usually the episode is a pun, like the first episode, Mom of a Croc. Here they usually deal with animal problems or supervillains. Then, after that, a glowing light appears to finish up the episode with some more live action segments from Chris and Martin. Usually it just wraps up what they were talking about the animals. With Chris saying, keep on creature adventuring, and Martin saying, we'll see you on the creature trail. Then we usually get into little extra bits. One most prominent was guess an animal. One of the brothers would be blindfolded, and they would feel or hear the sound of an animal to guess what it was. Sorry, guys. Then we transition into the end credits. Now, let's talk about the characters. First, there's Chris, who is voiced by himself. I'm going to only be able to tell you the voice actors for Chris and Martin since they voice themselves. Now, Chris usually wears green and is the much more organized brother. He's great at climbing trees, but in an episode in the season 1 sorry, tongue-tied there, guys. But in season 1, episode 4, Flight of the Draco, he hit a tree and developed acrophobia, a fear of heights. This kind of led into a running gag where Chris kept hitting a tree, whether he wanted to, actually just didn't want to. Next, we get into Martin, who again is voiced by himself. Now, Martin usually wears blue and has more creature know-how of Chris. Chris likes to take time to study the animals, while Martin prefers to get up close and personal. Martin is also responsible for naming most of the animals in the episodes. This helps the audience get a better bond to the animal. Usually he names, sorry guys, itchy shoulder. Usually names the baby animals. Next, there's Aviva, who is technically the de facto leader of the Wild Kratts crew. She makes most of their inventions, like the Tortuga, based on a box turtle. It can fly. Don't ask me how. but it's solar powered, so it's good for the environment. Next, we have Koki, our African American member. I apologize if I was a little racist there. She usually runs communications for our crack crew. Next is Jimmy C. He's a bit of a slacker, but he teleports the crack crew. He teleports stuff to the Kratts bros when they're on a creature adventure. And it's usually the one who pilots the Tortuga. Now let's talk about villains. First is Zach Varmitek. He can be considered the main antagonist of the show because he appears in most episodes. Usually he usually tries to capture an animal and use them for profit. Like in one episode, there's a Gila monster under my house. I'm pronouncing that right. The G is silent. I don't know why it makes a huh sound, but I'm not the one who named it. He tried to turn Gila monsters with their strong like jaws into power tools. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. So evil. Next we go into Danita. Oh, I forgot. Zach usually is accompanied by his Zach bots and has two running gags. One, he usually calls animals something completely different from what they are. And two, he always calls the wild Kratts wild rats, which leads them to correction by shouting back at him, "That's wild Kratts." Next we get into Donita Donata, a fashion designer who may or may not be an inspiration for real-world fashion designers using animals for clothing lines. Yeah, she's accompanied by Davio. He's big, strong, and dumb, but surprisingly knows more about the animals than Donita does. Interesting, ain't it? Now, these two are equipped with pose beams, which allows them to hold animals, and by extension, our heroes in suspended animation. And in season 5, she got mannequin robots that launch pose beams for her. She was lacking in the truth department. Next is Gourmand. He's a chef who lost his professional chef license because he wanted to cook endangered animals. He's the most less tech savvy of our villains on this list. Usually liking to get this stuff done himself. He only prepares a dish once, as seen when Zach asks him if he's going to prepare a certain dish where he told him no. Now, he could be oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Zach literally speaking of Zach, I forgot to mention. He literally tries to kill the Kratts brothers in more than one instance. The best one I can currently think of, if you guys have seen the show and seen another, please let me know in the comments down below. That in the episode Creature Power Challenge, Zach created Disruptobots to disrupt the creature power suits. Basically, it's like this. The Disruptobots bypassed the creature power suit defense system and activated and messed with their programming, causing activation of ghost programs to get back up. For example, in the first part of the challenge, Chris and Martin were battling each other using the power of an elephant and a black rhino. We'll get to the creature power suits in a minute, trust me. And the Disruptobots turned them into Martin into a basilisk lizard, and Chris into an acorn. And in the water challenge, he turned Martin into Martin from crocodile to a tarsier, and Chris a hippo to a butterfly. He stopped the activation, and they almost got eaten by baby crocodiles. Yeah, that's messed up. Now, like I was saying before, Gramon is less tech-savvy, usually either traveling by plane, boat, or car, which usually has a flip-out restaurant in it. It's nuts. It's nuts. Okay, so, anywho, next we get to the next two villains who were introduced in Season 4. Paisley Paver and her assistant, Rex. Now, these two are a real-world example of people paving over habitats to make buildings. Now, Paisley believes that nature is gross and the world's better off without it. While I can agree sometimes nature is gross, we need nature. Nature and animals. We all depend on each other. To a certain extent, but still, we all depend on each other. Now, she usually used paver bots to, well, pave over landscapes. And then her assistant Rex is very hyperactive. I have to keep reminding myself he's a bad guy because he's just so chipper. Don't judge me. Okay, so anywho, let's get to the gear. I mentioned the Tortuga, the turtle ship where the Wild Kratts crew works and / lives, and the creature pods, each designed after a color. Martin is blue, Chris is red, Aviva is purple, Koki is orange, either that or brown. Pretty sure it's brown, or copper. Anywho, and Jimmy is orange. Next, we get into the most impressive part, the creature power suits, designed by Aviva. Originally belonging just to Chris and Martin, later Aviva made her and Koki ones. Now, usually Aviva needs to program a creature power into a creature power disc. The Kratts brothers inserted into the paw print on the vest, use the special gloves to touch the animal. This is always essential. Press the paw pad, then boom, their suits are usually are similar to or directly based on an animal. Now, I could go over what they look like, but they're very intricate and hard to design, but I can't go over their malfunctions. Like you said, some these malfunctions happen in Creature Power Challenge, but in Tazzy Chris's Creature Power suit malfunction, turning him into a half-human, half-Tasmanian Devil hybrid that switched back and forth. Kind of like a werewolf. Oh yeah, another malfunction of the creature power suit comes in the strong creature instincts. In the episode, The Blue and the Gray, Martin was accidentally transformed into a great oak, so Chris left to get help, but as soon as he saw acorns drop, his gray squirrel instincts took over and he had to bury the acorns. It was not pleasant. So yeah, that's basically Wild Kratts in a nutshell. It's a fun action show filled with good facts about animals. So, I know this was sort of my short ones, but I wanted to get this out of the way soon. So, what do you guys think? You want me to talk about Zaboomafoo and Kratts creatures? Let me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe to my channel. I don't update often, but when I do, hit that bell icon and you'll get all the latest information. Well, that's all for now. This is Jack Keller saying, see ya, and I'll see you on the creature trail.